Hi, Moglets. So I've already fiddled around with Aggravate and Electro units, but I wanted to make a dedicated video going over it. The main units we'll be checking out today are Keqing and Raiden Shogun. We could check out a couple of others like Cyno and Miko as well, but I want to mainly focus on these two. Since Cyno is a new character and Aggravate was kind of always a thing with him anyway, and Miko and most of the other Electros aren't really main DPSs. Before we get started with that though, I'd like to thank me for sponsoring this video. Please like and subscribe. In my talking points here, the client says it's a good video, so the weird thing is, I guess now Electros should be built with some amount of Element Mastery, as the damage bonus from Aggravate does get increased with more Element Mastery, so we're gonna start with Keqing here with my one 4-piece Thundering Fury. I really should farm more, but I should farm more artifacts for every set pretty much. The 4-piece Thundering Fury did get a bit buffed since the damage bonus conferred by Aggravate is increased by 20% now. This set actually does have a decent amount of Element Mastery on it at 182%, so we're also getting 65% extra damage bonus there. We're at 1900 attack, 60 crit rate, 180 crit damage, 61 electro damage bonus. I mean, it's not horrible. It's an alright Keqing. We're also rocking Miss Splitter Reforged, and she is C6. Obviously, we will need some Dendro. I'm probably going to use Nahida because she is just the best Dendro applicator at the moment. If you don't have Nahida, probably Traveler would be the next best option there for off-field Dendro. So Sara's probably the best Electro buff where we get 60 extra crit damage there. And just to kind of see what's going on, we're gonna start with the Masanori run here. Should be actually fine when we just hit Nahida's E, to be honest. So there we have Spread and then Aggravate. We got a 40k E slash there. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole rotation. It's very simple, very easy. Let's try that again. Let's do a burst, see how much those six are doing. 6,600. All right, let's try that again just for fun here. The charge attacks are doing like over 40k each. Maybe Sara should have something. Her buffs don't really matter if she has artifacts or not, actually, because it only is dependent on her base attack. And of course, C6 for the 60 crit damage. But still, let's get her in a 4-piece Oblige. Something else that might be interesting is to see the actual difference when we have Aggravate and when we don't have Aggravate. So let's just skip Nahida, honestly, get all the other buffs we normally get. Well, okay, charge attacks are doing 15 and 17, so like maybe 30k instead of the 45 they were doing before. Pretty massive difference, I gotta say. So yeah, 30 to 32k charge attacks with Aggravate. Let's see, 20. I couldn't see the other one. Maybe it didn't crit. I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if we have someone else trigger Aggravate that has substantially more Elements of Mastery. So since we just said the artifacts don't really matter for Sara, we're gonna try and make Sara trigger Aggravate. So our Sara has 826 now, which means a 200% bonus. We'll see if that works how I hope it does. So Sara, there's Quicken. That should be Aggravate. 21. It is more, a little bit more. It's not so much more that it's probably worth giving up on the other stuff she had, honestly. Or is it even more? I'm not sure. It might not even matter. I mean, as soon as Keqing does the Aggravate with her Electro attacks, it could just overwrite it anyway. Oh, well, I just saw a 33k there from one of her charge attacks, so I don't know. We'd probably have to not use Nahida, honestly, since we're getting consistent Aggravates where we only want one and we want Kujo Sara to trigger it. There we go. We should also have the buff, so... Oh no, but we're still getting Aggravates because the Dendro is still just attached to him. Okay. Well, there's no real way without making it even more complex and unrealistic to do in a normal battle, then let's just say, at least in this situation, Keqing's Element of Mastery will be the one that really matters. Possibly unless you would have some off-field Electro, but I don't know if it's really worth giving up on Sara's buffs for that. Or even the shield and the resistant shred from Zhongli. So let's try again. Okay, we got a 71 there. Yeah, we're getting a lot more damage now because we're actually using everyone's burst. Let's try that again. I saw some 7,000 hits from Keqing's burst there. 6,400 now. Not sure exactly why it's different, but 42k? I think that 42k was one part of a charge attack. Sara's buff unfortunately doesn't last super long, so it's a little hard to see. All right, let's see here. Yeah, 6,400 again. Again, going to just use everyone's buffs here. Let's see what the burst. 7,000s again. Okay, very, very cool. Oh, wanted to see what the charge attack did also, but he died too fast. But yeah, if I remember right, this is about the same damage we got with Binny and Sara rather than with Nahida and Sara. I guess the issue in this team specifically is that Binny would overwrite Keqing's charge attacks. I know in my last video I was talking about C6 Binny and how it doesn't really mess up Electro Keqing, and I do still think that's true, but I guess it does depend on the team, yeah. Just for fun though, let's compare. All right, we should have pretty much everyone's buffs ready now. Here we go. We're going to do a burst here. 7,000s again. Obviously charge attacks are pretty weak, but yeah. Obviously though, in the Nahida team, we have Nahida herself doing a lot of off-field damage and stuff. So yeah, Aggravate alone seems to more than make up for Binny's boost, which is actually pretty impressive. So that being said, we are going to stick to the Nahida team. It's just overall better. And to mix it up a little bit, we are going to fight the Shogun boss. I don't think we'll be able to kill her before her shield comes, but we got pretty close actually. She's at like 20% maybe. I guess we'll see. Okay, I couldn't really see anything, but got decently close, which is actually really hard, especially with the more melee focused team because she's teleporting all over the place. But yeah, let's switch gears a little bit to Shogun here. And unlike Keqing, she actually could use Binny, Sara, and Aggravate. So we could potentially see some pretty interesting numbers here. So our Raiden here has her signature weapon Engulfing Lightning alongside 4-piece emblem. Focusing a lot on energy recharge, we're at 250%, 53 crit, 139 crit damage, 2300 attack, and 69.5 electro damage bonus. This rotation will be slightly different because I want to start with Shogun and then cycle back to her to do her burst. With Binny in there, the rotation will be a little weird. We need to avoid burning, which is possible if we cancel it out with overloaded before going to Nahida. To see how that works, just like that. All right, here we go. As you can see, it has now been canceled out. Then we can go ahead and start here, do the aggravate and spread, and hit him for a non-crit, unfortunately. But dang, her charge attacks were doing like 70k, I think. That was pretty crazy. Definitely need to head to Midnight Masanori for this one. So we're actually just going to start with that. Oh no, I shouldn't have done the E. The E is what messes it up. That's just muscle memory at this point. All right, let's go ahead and try that again. Okay, there we go. It's looking good. It's looking good. 380. All right, and the charge attacks. I can't see. 380, I think, is by far the most I've ever gotten on Masanori. I have gotten a bit more in like Abyss 7, I think, but not in like a real battle. But yeah, just to mix it up a bit, we're gonna go to Masa Kinki, which I'm a little bit worried about because no one's really healthy here. Binny himself has 1500 HP, and he is pretty brutal. Hold on. Ow. Okay, that cancels out that. Go ahead and get that and a burst. Go to Sara real quick, and here we go. Kaboom! No crit. Why do you have to do that to me? That's gonna hurt. Oh, a one shot. Very, very cool. I was hoping I could burst iframe. Well, I mean, we killed him. If the Shogun burst would have actually critical, that would have been nice. She doesn't have that low crit. 53, it's more than 50%, which is basically 100. It's been a while since I fought the water cube. This, I think, was like the first time I really showcased Shogun. One of her god modes, I think I did a couple because we got her to a high constellation at one point, but yeah, no one has their burst, which is super annoying. Can we even get Aggravate? Well, we got Quicken. It's just kind of weird because he's a Hydro dude. Oh yeah, I gotta get out of there. Too late. I kind of forgot all of his little details. Give me that. Whatever, let's just try, I guess. I don't think there's any time to do, like... Oh yeah, there wasn't even time to do that, unfortunately. Oh well. Okay. I'm out of here. Aeon Blight Drake. I don't think he has any weird mechanics. Still a little annoying to get to, but since I just activated this thing now, it should be a little easier. Yes, indeed, and there he is. I feel a little cringe about complaining about it so hard now because if I would have just activated that, it literally leads you directly there. Whatever, I don't usually run around with Dendros in my team, at least back then. With Nahida now, I probably will mostly have her in my team. Uh, 415. What? Why was that so much more? What did I do differently that time? It honestly felt like I was messing everything up because I couldn't get rid of the pyro on the dude. And I was like, ugh, forget it. Let's just go back to Shogun and burst. But then it was a 415. There must be more possible. Let's try that once more here. So, Dune, cancel it out. Let's just, oh, I should have done Nihita's burst first because it takes kind of a long time. Anyway, let's just go ahead and see what that does now. Of course, it did not critical. All right, let's look at the charge attacks then. Oh yeah, that was a 71. Insane, dude. Whatever. I don't think we can get much better than that 415 we got anyway. I mean, we might be able to squeak out a little more damage if we replaced Binny with like Kazuha or something. Wouldn't really have to worry about the pyro either, so we'll try that real quick once. If we can just get a ding critical. Oh yeah, Sifos Moonlight. I unfortunately have not raised this yet, but I probably should for my Kazuha since I don't have Freedom Sworn. I would really want to, but I just don't have the resources since I raised every new weapon these days, you know. Even the next new weapon that comes out, I'm gonna struggle with a lot. I only have 225 of those, so I just can't. He's gonna have to stick to Iron Sting for now. Still has almost 1,000 Elements Mastery, so it's whatever. All right, let's go ahead and try this again. We're gonna go ahead and do his burst and his E. Go ahead and get that. I just saw Quicken activate. All right, please crit, please. 474, one-shotted. Okay, definitely can't beat that. Wow. I mean, outside of going for like the real damage per screenshot stats, 5 crit rate, 400 crit damage on Shogun boss after shield phase, you know, unrealistic standards type deal. I'm still not really sure how Element Mastery really plays into this. The damage bonus provided by Aggravate and Spread, like, especially in Shogun's case, she kind of needs all stats. So dumping a lot into Element Mastery, I don't think would be that great. Kazuha does, of course, help with that because he is C2 and gives everyone 200 here, so that obviously goes up a lot inside burst. Whether that was active at the time of the last Aggravate before Shogun's burst, I mean, it probably was. And then Nihita, I believe, is giving over 200 as well because of Kazuha's almost 1,000. Now I'm curious, so we're gonna do one final Masanori run and I wanna actually check the Elements Mastery of my Shogun, you know, before I would do her burst. Cause yeah, obviously in this team, building Elements Mastery doesn't make sense since you're already getting so much. Well then let's go ahead and start with Nihita's burst. Do that, go to him. Swirl the Electro real quick and then go and do Sara's stuff and then back to Shogun and check now. Okay, yeah. So here are Shogun stats before I attack. 3,200 attack, 536 Elements of Mastery, and 153 Electro damage bonus, so it kind of makes sense she did a lot of damage. And then of course we have 4-piece Viridescent reducing his resistance to Electro by 40%. 536 increases Aggravate by 154%, so obviously I will take that bonus when I don't have to actually build my Shogun with Elements of Mastery. I'm getting it from these other units. Oh yeah, and Kazuha himself is at 1170. That seems to only be from his own buff though. Oh right, Nahita's is only for the active character. Kazuha increases it for himself and the active character. 397 there. Which I'm not sure if everything was even still active because I was just trying to look at the stats. But yeah, I guess that'll pretty much do it for my little Aggravate showcase. Didn't really get to Sino. I mean, if you want to see Aggravate Sino, then check out the God mode. I'm 99% sure at least I was fiddling with Aggravate there. But yeah, make sure to tell me what you think in the comments down below. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time,